This tranquil village of only 12.75 square miles is tucked away as one of Essequibo's lesser-known treasures. Located just 7 miles outside of Anna Regina, or a 20-minute flight from Georgetown. Yes, you can get there by plane too. This is Mainstay Whyaka.
Murko, Halikabere, Bandente, Dakobado, Mainstay.
Which means good morning and welcome to Mainstay Village. Also known as Whyaka Village in Essequibo, join us as we take you through a village that has embraced a more modern way of life as opposed to a more traditional one.
Established in the late 1800s, this village now has a population of over 600. A toll booth is used to keep track of persons entering the village.
We must know as a council, we have a checkpoint. If you notice, we have a gate that says stop. And we have our checkers working here all day. They work with the village council. We also have security at night. So our village is very safe because we manage what happens, who enter our village.
All funds collected from the toll go towards the development of the village.
Well, we're at the entrance of Whyaka, a little settlement. We get the word Whyaka from the Arawak word Wakayabeto, meaning first people to settle. And from here, people move from this little village to settle in different parts of Mainstay. So that's why we call it the cradle of the village.
Before we venture further, let's first admire the rich biodiversity as we approach the cradle of the village. Pineapple farming is a major part of life here in Mainstay Whyaka, so much so that it is known as Pineapple Land. Andrew Carter, a research assistant attached to NARI, tells us about the type of farming done here in Mainstay Whyaka.
Since the village commenced, we practice shifting cultivation, and which simply means that we select a virgin land, as you can see around. We still have virgin land around this area. And we clear it from the vegetation, then we cultivate it for 2 to 3 years, and then we abandon that land, then move to the next virgin land, and then probably like within the next 20-25 years, we can do farming back on this land. So we don't do inorganic farming, strict 100% organic farming.
I've been working on the farm since I was a child, says Elna Pearson, one of the longest serving farmers here in Mainstay.
My name is Elna Pearson. I am 64 years old. I'm a farmer almost for the 64 years because I started planting farm since I was 9 years old. I love farming, so that is why I continue doing this as my living. This is one of the farms that I'm planting right now. Before I start planting, I had was to take out the small trees. Then I get chainsaw and cut the big trees. Then I leave it to dry for about a month and a half. Then I burn it. Then I rake it. Then I go straight into planting. That is like this. In an acre, we normally put 3,500 suckers. So when I finish planting this now, I would leave it. I would plant running vine between it. That is like the cash crops and so on. Leave it until 2 years time before I would get produce from it.
In a surprising twist to the norm, a young entrepreneur, Alex Pearson, has decided to try his hand at beekeeping and plans to make a business out of honey.
I started beekeeping as a hobby, and it's slowly turning into a business for me. A few years ago, my brother, or one of my brother rather, started exterminating bees. So after going with him a few times, I decided that this is not what I want to do, and I would rather keep the bees alive rather than exterminate them. Presently, I have 6 hives. They're spread out around the area. Right. Coming on to October, November, that's what I refer to as the big honey season. So these bees are collecting nectar during September, October, November. That's when I would be able to harvest honey. I would like to see a lot of young people from this village getting into beekeeping. I mean, it's a very dangerous yet exciting farming activity.
Continuing on our tour of Mainstay Village, we're here at the Tapakuma Lake, which is one of the 4 major lakes on the Essequibo coast. Did you know that Mainstay shares the Tapakuma Lake with the neighboring village of Tapakuma, and that it happens to be the largest of the 4 major lakes on the Essequibo coast? We can't talk about lakes and not mention the beauty that is Lake Mainstay, the village's main attraction.
Amerindian, they're the owner of the land, the government is the owner of the buildings, and we are the investors. We got a lot of support from the village, especially where employment is concerned, supplies of planting and such vegetables and so on. However, it's beneficial in employment mostly. We keep the money in Mainstay, we don't want it to leave Mainstay, so the employment is there. We have 2 shifts, 6 to 2, 2 to 10, so it's very beneficial to Mainstay. I get the support from the captain and councillors, and we work together in the interest of development of tourism at Lake Mainstay Resort. As Mainstay is popularly known all over the world, it's getting more popular. I think it's one of the most popular destinations presently in Guyana as a whole. Right now, you cannot come and just get a cabin. You have to make a booking maybe a month before. So we encourage anybody who wants to visit, make a reservation early. And especially since the pandemic started and we reopened in last year late, and it started from January. However, Mainstay, we follow the protocols, a limited amount of people. Well, we only can accommodate so much overnight. Of course, we have a limited amount of day trippers. As you will be able to see, Mainstay has a large beach and we can accommodate much more, but we do want to make sure people are safe, you have your social distance, you come with a family, you stay with your family, and so forth. We take it very serious.
It is a scenic afternoon here at Lake Mainstay, and to entertain us is a dance done by the Mainstay Whyaka Cultural Group.
This is Mainstay Whyaka Cultural Group, and we're about to do the Maramari Dance. Maramari signifies a celebration after a hard day's work.
Keeping the party spirit alive, we meet Mr. Lascelles Pearson, who is a wine distiller that has been producing fruit wine for over 10 years.
I've been making fruit wine for a number of years. Presently, I'm making all different types of fruit wine. It's 10 years old. The different flavors are cherry, guava, mango, jamun, soursop, capadullo. I have them all available here, and I would like people, whenever they come to Mainstay, they could take a sample of the chief wine. This is the chief wine.
Make sure you grab a bottle next time you are at Lake Mainstay.
Here we are, standing in front of Lake Mainstay guest house. It's a small building. We have 3 bedrooms and all the kitchen equipment with a very small kitchen. This is just the start for our guest house, but we have future plans to extend beyond right here, to construct other buildings, to build hammock pad, to have outdoor dining. We have a great plan which we will embark on very shortly.
We're now here at Mainstay Village, where we will discover how the primary school and ICT hub have made education more accessible to the next generation.
Head teacher of the Mainstay Lake Primary School, Ms. Tamala Williams, shares her experience growing up and says it was not as easy for her like it is now for children traveling to school.
Going to Anna Regina Secondary was not an easy task. I had to catch sometimes truck, tractors, anything that's available to go out to the secondary school there. Sometimes I even remember walking 5 miles to and fro. I vividly remember walking in after my CSEC examination and had to walk out back the following morning.
Thanks to the contributions of the older generations of students and villagers, it is now much easier for children today.
We have also produced persons in various fields. We have in agriculture, education, health, we have engineers, and so on, just to name a few. At present, I am one of the teachers who's on the village council, along with 2 other teachers. We were all pupils of the Mainstay Lake Primary. And we have decided to return to our village to offer our support and to develop our community.
Today's Mainstay youths also have access to an information communication technology hub that was established in 2017. It provides a crucial link for students and adults to do research for school and projects. Mr. Maramari Pearson, a lecturer at the Essequibo Technical Institute, gives us his take on what it means to the community.
Years ago, we used to travel long distances to deliver messages, probably even send a smoke signal. Nowadays, we send email, we send a WhatsApp message. So I feel the whole initiative of the computer lab, the internet system, it's very beneficial to my community.
He also facilitates a program at the ICT Hub for adults that teaches how to use the basic functions of a computer.
Because I want to see this generation here having it easier than what I have. I don't want them to go through the same struggle that I went through. I want it to be easier. So I'm here to assist in whatever way I could assist them, even to probably teach them about the computer.
Among students who currently benefit is Sarah Fredericks of Cottonfield Secondary School.
I'm a grade 11 student and I'm doing my SBA, and it has been very helpful for me and my peers because we get to use the free internet to do research and the computers to type and finish our SBAs.
Here we are today in a more modern Mainstay, but we never forgot where we came from. what we did in those days. We are thankful. With the intervention of government and other organizations, we now have a more developed Mainstay. We can talk about internet service. Our children have access to Wi-Fi. They can study, they do their SBAs. Our university students study online. And this is what we are talking about in Mainstay, development. We are heading there. We are not there as yet, but we have had great development over the past couple of years. And once again, I want to say, in partnership with government and other organizations, we have come a long way. This is Mainstay. This is the Mainstay we would like to have, and we would like our children and grandchildren to benefit from. I would invite everyone, come on down to Mainstay and have a nice time.
This brings us to the end of our journey through the beautiful Mainstay Whyaka village. I hope you can see now how the village has transformed to adopt a more modern way of life, and whenever you're in Essequibo, I hope you come to check them out.